Okay, we are back for part 2 of the Kisan LC20 7.3 software and upgrade load. If you noticed, after this thing finished rebooting from part 1, it's asking for a serial number. This is always the fun part of playing with the particular numbers and stuff. So this is, I'm going to have to look here, so it's on the side. So in 1305, L05. Playing with these screens is always a fun thing. Apologize for that. Erase, erase, erase. End. Let's see what the number is here. Actually, that was a 6, so let's go back here. Not that this matters, to be quite honest with you, as long as it's a valid number. B7168. B7168. Okay. Input success. Press the big start stop button. Loading. This, if all goes well, I think we're going to get the calibration screen. This is where the blue and white papers come in. And you notice you heard the click. That means that this was not all the way shut. Now it comes active. First thing you want to do, you press the IR. And you're looking for all of these things to have passed. Otherwise, you need to address whatever it is. These are the attached sensors that run the machine. So, and then I start with US, which is the white paper, numbers up, and run it through the machine. Calibration done. And then I go straight to MG. That way I pick up the white paper one time instead of twice. So that passed. And now I'm dealing with the blue paper, which has the numbers on it. So I have to go up here to UV sheet, and I want to put in these numbers, starting with the 66, and then let's see if I can get it right here. So 71 is my next one, then 60, which is the bottom left, and then 71. Lucky me, I have two common numbers. And once I have these four numbers in, I press back, and then now I press the UV and put the blue paper in, numbers up. That's how the blue and white papers are calibrated. And typically you can press the start stop key to get to the normal screen. But now we want to run the NAP program, just so we have an exercise in that. So I'm going to go over here to the laptop so you can see this screen. So this is the Newton adjustment program. I am running the version, if I click version here, I am running the version for the recognition or RICO version 7.3. Typically you want to run the NAP program for the particular version of software you're running on the Kisan Toshiba or the LC20. This is an exercise in upgrading the machine to 7.3, so that is the program we are running. Earlier in part 1, I talked about having the proper cable from the laptop to the Kisan machine. So that is a DB9 to a RJ11 plugged into display port 1. You may have to use a USB to serial converter for Windows 10 machines. But anyway, this is old school. So if you notice, we are connecting via COM1. And if I click the CIS board, and I'm waiting for it to come back, it didn't work, so we'll try it again. Now we have all of the red dip switches on. So that is a good thing. So this is the initializing the environment. So I go to the environment tab. It's currently up and the screen is big, so that's good. So you want to hit initialize, and then yes, I want to initialize the environment. And then I go to setup. I don't think you have to do this, but I follow the things that have been successful for me. But anyway, if you notice down here where my mouse went, there's some numbers we need to change. So the only one that this column right here, I want this to be 0 here, and then 0 here, 0 here, and 0 here. And they have to be 0. You can't have empty because it's not an integer. So once you have this setting correct, you want to hit setup again. Now I saved this setting to a file on my laptop, which is, I named LC20. So I could actually save that again because this is the current setting that I want. And then next time, all I gotta do is hit load. Then I find that particular file again. And I don't have to play with zeroing out the numbers. So once you've done that, you hit setup. That transmits the settings to the machine. So after you're done with that, this may be a longer video than normal, but we'll see how it goes. So you want to go to the Kisan machine because we're going to connect up with a different way of interfacing. So I want to hit function and then page down and admin, and then my admin password is 78. Okay, and then I got to get page down again, and now I am connecting in the monitor mode. If you notice, this thing is highlighted blue. So I'm going to go over here to my NAP program, and I'm going to hit the CIS board. We'll try it again, and now it's connected at a different way. So this is calibrating the CIS sensor with the blue and white jigs. So the first thing you do is you tap the AD converter and you get this screen. So I'm going to go around and put the white jig or blue one thin side down inside the back of my Kisan machine. So this is where I'm going. Okay, so stand by. So put the white jig in across the CIS sensor. And sometimes the tabs don't work too well, so you may want to just get a piece of tape and tape it down, but just so you know where it went, that's where it went. So the door will not close all the way, so it just closes gently. And then at this point, I want to calculate bright. And I need to come back with some numbers right here. If I don't, typically that is a connectivity problem between your Ricoh boards inside the machine. That is a whole nother mechanical discussion. You have to basically disassemble the machine, reconnect and clean all the connectors. But that worked out well for us. RB150, TB149. As long as it's, I've seen them in the like 120. It typically runs well. So calculate bright, I'll do it again just for an exercise in how to do this. Read high. And then once this thing comes back, I am done with the white jig. I'm going to stick the black jig in. thin side down. And like I said, the door will not close all the way, so I close it gently. And then all you gotta do here is read the low. When it comes back, you hit process. At this point, your machine has been, the CIS has been calibrated. But if you really wanted to look, you notice there's a little waveform here you can investigate. This is the inverse of the one that they have in the manual. If I take the black jig out and put my white one in, if you notice, I'm getting more of a square wave. I'll have to refresh that. Stand by. And you notice stand by. You notice the waveform is now taking on a square wave shape. I don't know what this means. It means something to Newton engineers, but once you've hit process, you've calibrated the machine. So at that point, I would reboot and run some money. I'm gonna see how long this video will go. It might be an exercise in how much memory I have in my iPhone, but we're up to about 12 minutes here. Let's just see what happens. So I have loaded the software, calibrated with blue and white papers. I calibrated the jig and initialized the environment using the appropriate NAP program. I'm waiting for the machine to boot. This takes about 2.5 minutes. You notice the lights went out on the right side there. About 20 seconds, it's going to go out on the left side right here. There it went out. Let's get ready to load the application program. And I've had some problems with this one, so I'm not sure it's going to run perfect, but that does not interfere with the way this machine loads. So let's single denomination, $5 bill. It rejected. I can go here to reject reason and ask why. It had a reject chain. If you notice, this thing has a display and print right here. So I'm going to stop the video here and we will go into a part 3 so we can talk about restoring the settings.